Hailing from the glorious coast of Erie, Pennsylvania, I lived as a fisherman, kayaker, and overall outdoorsman. I would spend the warm summer days, although they were rare in my snowy northern hometown, playing a sandy game of beach volleyball or cruising around the protected wildlife in the lagoons, a dense and isolated swampland full of the most beautiful scenes of nature Erie has to offer. Even as winter comes along, I could always be found lugging my ice hut out onto the bay, where I would sit for hours, enjoying the cool breeze flowing across the frozen lake while hauling in some delicious Lake Erie perch. This scene of nature is what I'm used to, and enjoying it has been a huge part of my life over the past 19 years. The interesting thing about living in Erie is that it is a perfect combination of city life and country life. At home, my house is a 5-minute drive from the sandy beach, a 7-minute drive from one of the largest malls in America, and a 10-minute drive from endless vineyards and farmland. Transportation among these places and the fact that they can exist in harmony with one another is a testament to the technology in today's world. Technology plays an interesting role in my life in Erie. I can watch movies and television at home while listening to my iPod and checking my email, and then go outside and fix my fishing rod with the latest and greatest line and lures available through new research and innovation. The wide variation in how technology is used perfectly illustrates the vast differences in lifestyles and activities in Erie, Pennsylvania. Because of my upbringing in the outdoors, Pittsburgh as a big city is a big change for me. When deciding where I wanted to go to school as a kid, I never would have seen myself in a big city atmosphere because I was more used to the suburbs, country, and smaller city environment. I really had no idea where I would end up. During the summer before my junior year in high school, I traveled to the University of Michigan, where I instantly felt like a number in the massive amounts of people, and John Carroll University in Cleveland, where I didn't feel the bigger school pride for which I was hoping. I finished this tour with a visit to Pittsburgh, where I instantly felt a connection. I love the artistic yet urban feel of the campus seen in the shapes and architecture of the buildings. I love the happy and excited feeling among the students. And I love the endless opportunity I could sense here with a highly accredited school in a big city. This was the place for me, because even though there wasn't a lake to fish in down the road, Pitt was exactly the place I was looking for to change the world I was living in to something different and exciting. While I wouldn't need my rod and tackle box during school time, Pittsburgh seemed like the perfect big pond for a little fish like me to begin its journey. People in Erie talked about how Oakland was a dangerous and shady part of town, but it became clear that they were ignorant, because there's nothing shady about it. I came here to visit and found that the worst parts of Oakland are no different than some of the houses in downtown Erie, so there was nothing to be afraid of. In Pittsburgh, the bad parts and good parts of town both have so many fascinating sights within them. The culture in the city ranges from wildly colored graffiti on buildings to beautifully upscale churches and cathedrals, and that variation creates an incredible sense of diversity. There's so much culture and multiplicity here compared to the way things were at home, and I can't get enough of it. I'm beginning to think that when people talked about the shady areas around Oakland, they were just mispronouncing Shadyside, which, ironically, isn't shady at all. At home, when I thought about what I would do outside of my class, or my own outside the classroom curriculum, I imagined a day in the lagoons, or a trip to the lake to watch the sunset. I remember the nights when I would head to the beach after dinner, swim in the chilly lake for a while, and watch the incredibly colorful sunset over the horizon, and then wipe the sand off my feet and head home. Yet, when I think about what I miss most from Erie, the prominent images are, strangely, mowing the lawn and working outside. I remember pushing the lawnmower across the yard, smelling the freshly cut grass, and feeling the sun beat down on my back. I remember the sense of pride and accomplishment I felt upon looking back at the perfectly lined yard that I had just produced. Oddly pleasant and memorable moments like these are often what I think of most in reminiscing about home. The nature and outdoors scene is a little bit different here in Pittsburgh. When I first came to school, I made the mistake of thinking that there would be no life outdoors at all. But in reality, it all comes down to perspective, and how I can appreciate the natural scenes around campus. I've come to learn many tricks about enjoying the outdoors in Oakland. Number one, walking between Sutherland and Lower Campus is a better hike than I've gotten on any hill. Ever. Number two, bikini-clad tanning junkies don't need a beach when they've got the lawn in front of the Soldiers and Sailors Memorial Hall, a historic building in the middle of the city. And easily the most important piece of information, number three, never breathe in the air on the sidewalk outside of Tower C Dormitory. It smells like decaying bodies. While no one knows why it smells this way, or from where the odor is emanating, we've all learned how to avoid it. With this knowledge, I found some decent fresh air on Upper Campus, not comparable to that flows over Lake Erie, of course. Enjoyed a strange yet pleasant view on the grass in front of an old building, and learned some great new exercise in my journey home every day after class. Before visiting, coming to Pittsburgh seemed like coming to another planet. I envisioned sidewalks and concrete everywhere, with little to no grass or trees. I envisioned tall buildings everywhere, and a place where no one stopped to enjoy what was going on around them. Now that I have lived here for 3 weeks, I realize that I was completely wrong. While I did love the school when I visited, I thought it would be a new life with no nature. I wasn't looking for the smaller pieces of life outdoors that I now have come to love. I see grass every day on my walk down to class. I frolic with a frisbee a few times a week on the lawn at the Peterson Event Center. I breathe in the delicious upper campus air. I marvel at the kids that hula hoop for hours in the Shenley Quad. The truth is, Pitt has quite a bit of outdoors in the area. This type of outdoors is just very different than what I'm used to. Enjoying the exercise and park areas that Pitt has to offer is my kind of OCC. I wish I could swipe in and earn credit every day for playing catch with my friends outside, because that's what I like to do after class. Outside the classroom curriculum, to me, is enjoying all that Pitt has to offer. While the program currently intact encourages students to take advantage of planned freshman activities, I personally would rather run around the lawn outside the Cathedral of Learning than attend planned awkward events such as Theater Okie. Through the OCC and general life outside of the classroom, however, Pittsburgh has offered something to please everyone. In creating this environment filled with opportunity, Pitt has done a great deal of work with the technology. As I travel around campus, I see technological advancements every day. I've watched giant wrecking balls demolish old buildings as an indicator of the university's attempt to keep the city up to date. I see men fixing staircases with new concrete and installing new curbs and handrails. It seems that nothing is ever too new in Pittsburgh when construction is concerned. Innovations are constantly being made to make the campus as pleasant and current as possible. This technology in Pittsburgh makes student life much easier in today's college experience. We wake up with alarm clocks on our cell phones, sometimes hop on a shuttle to get to class faster, and enter a classroom and use projectors to see our assignments from a laptop. We leave class and head to lunch, where we swipe a card in exchange for a meal, and we sit there checking our Facebook on the Pitt Wireless Network. The list of technological advances in Pittsburgh continues to grow every day. As students, we cannot even grasp how much we rely upon technology here in the city. In the city of Erie, people walk, ride bikes, and carpool from place to place. While there is a bus system there, I never rode in one, nor did I need to. It's a bit ironic because I've been swiping a card for my meals for quite some time. The only difference is that my card at home was linked directly to my bank account, from which money was automatically deducted, rather than from a predetermined meal plan. The thing that interests me most is how Pitt is so similar to Erie while so different at the same time. The same concepts and ideas generally apply here at school, but the specifics are quite dissimilar. So while my expectations of the city of Pittsburgh were completely misguided, I've found myself happier than ever before here at the university. I enjoy the campus life, the people, the classes, and the sense of pride I feel when I tell people that I'm a Pitt student. I make use of fantastic technology while enjoying the unique scenes of nature I find all around me. For my outside the classroom curriculum, I plan to make the most out of every volunteer, work, and political opportunity in this city. I plan to attend the required OCC events while making up twice as many of my own. I'm so excited for the rest of the year to unfold so that I can enjoy my life as a college student and the endless excitement my friends and I feel here at school. While enjoying this time, I credit many of the positive experiences to Pittsburgh technoculture. The technology of today is, in many ways, a double-edged sword. We can stay in contact with everyone while losing contact with reality far too easily. In a city like this, every once in a while, it is imperative that we stop running to cross the street, sprinting to class, or talking on our cell phones so that we can soak in the beauty of this campus. The incredibly crafted buildings on campus all had many technological and historical wonders inside, and in fulfillment of my own OCC credit, I plan to visit each and every one of them. Where else can you lie in a park, sipping on a bubble tea, while texting some friends, and gaze up to watch the sunset aside the second tallest university-affiliated building in the world, without having to wipe your sand off your feet? Only in Oakland.